Bear down, Chicago Bears. Question that we're going to be asking at this point is, can Justin Fields lead the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl? Here's the advanced stats for Justin Fields. You look at on first downs, about a 60% completion, 58%, but on second down, 67% completion, and third down, 60% completion. So still looking like, now, by the way, the third down part right here, 8 and 5, you do have to address interceptions. You do have to coach down, not throwing the ball away or giving the ball away because it seems too obvious there. This right here, though, this is the telling tale of Justin Fields. A 112 passer rating in the first quarter of every game. When the scripted plays are out there and when you know exactly what you can do against this defense versus the offense, then he has a 112 passer rating. And then the second quarter, a 91.4 passer rating. 75% completion and 62% completion in the scripted portions of your game, or at least the ones where the teams have not had a chance to make adjustments to what the coaches are doing. And then when you get to the third and fourth quarter, where the defenses have now made their adjustments to what somebody is doing, then what you see is a much different scenario. But in the third quarter, even at 58.6%, Justin's not turning the ball over and maintains a quarterback rating of 90. Now you're in the fourth quarter, which, by the way, there's nobody out here saying Luke Getsy's done a good job or even a reasonable job of calling the fourth quarter at any point in any season. And you see that suddenly the completion ratio is 51%. Coaching, you're not putting your players in a position to be successful. 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, because number one, your defense last year was the worst defense in the league. In the first 4 or 5 games of the season, I want to say all the way through 7 games, you were still giving up an average of close to 30 points a game. So you were playing from behind and you were having to go for it and you were calling bad plays. So, and we saw the product on the field. So you can look at it now and say, well, it's 3-6. So if we can eliminate the mistakes and we can clean up the fourth quarter and start playing some real ball in the fourth quarter, then does that change anything? More importantly, though, this is where things have to improve right here. Last 2 minutes of the half, Justin Fields, 46%, 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions. And in the fourth quarter, within 7 points, 46.9, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The question becomes, can you, number one, avoid that situation? And then number two, can you improve upon these numbers? And that's where Shane Waldron comes in. And dare I say, Shane Waldron will have his work cut out for him in trying to turn Justin Fields into a fourth quarter guy. Now, some people perform when they're under pressure. Some people collapse and they do not perform well under pressure. However, despite what many people might tell you, Justin Fields is not allowed to audible. Justin Fields was not allowed to call out his own plays. He went with the plays being called, and that was to the detriment because there are things on the field that perhaps he is seeing that Luke Getsy is not seeing and that he's calling against. And if that's the case, then, at some point, there has to be some trust being built up between those two parties. So if that is the case, then it should be reasonable to expect that this team would just improve by virtue of that, right? So I would venture to say that at this point, the Chicago Bears, Shane Waldron, they're going to keep Justin Fields. And this team is a Super Bowl contender for next year. And that's going to infuriate people who are not real fans of the Chicago Bears. That's going to make them really sad. And they're probably going to come into chats and cry and do stuff like that. And then when you say that, they're going to be like, what do you mean cry? I'm not crying, bro. You think you don't know what you're talking about, bro. Or something like that. So we're going to see that. You're going to see a lot of that. Because again, we have a lot of crybabies. We have a lot of whiners that me no like he Justin Fields, me no think he good guy, or whatever people say to themselves in their head. I'm sure they use big boy voices when they say it in their brains. But the important thing is Justin Fields is going to have to fix this fourth quarter, 53.4 quarterback rating. And if they can clean that up, then you are now looking at a quarterback with a rating of 112, 100 overall in the first half, 70.9 in the second half. You clean up those second half stats, you make the right adjustments, you turn this team into somebody who performs in the second half versus, and guys, look, it's just a game. Why does the production go down in the fourth quarter? Play calling. Duh. Like, are we not? Do we not see that? Or we not? Have we never played football? I mean, I guess that would be the case. Have you never played football? Do you not understand how important play calling is in the fourth quarter? That you have to go with the plays that work. And if you're playing from behind and you're not playing to your team's strengths, what do you do there, right? If you have to pass the ball and your options are DJ Moore and then Darnell Mooney and Tyler Scott, know that you're probably going to lose, especially if you're not calling plays that are going to scheme to get DJ Moore open 24/7. And then when you see the plays where they actually did that, you see that the Bears were moving the ball, but you can only do it so much before you start getting double teamed. You have to have other options. So if your other option is Darnell Mooney or Tyler Scott, you're not going to win. Maybe you can use Cole Kmet as your outlet, but you're limited in your options because you're limited by your players. And when you're limited by your players, you are limited in your play calling. And even if you're not and you feel that you are still limiting yourself by your play calling. So if that is the case, then you have to improve that. And I think that Shane Waldron coming in is the guy to improve all of that. So if that's the case, then I think the future is very bright. Now, again, I'm going to close this out with saying I'm not a Justin Williams fan. I don't care if Justin Williams is here or Justin Fields is here or not. I care if the Chicago Bears are winning games. And I think that Justin Fields is going to give a better option than a rookie quarterback in a Lincoln Riley system at winning now. And I think that the team of Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus are going to be incentivized to hold on to Justin Fields because Justin Fields actually represents their best shot of significant improvement. And if they decide to move off of Justin Fields after next year, then between Eric Malik, I want to say, and Shedeur Sanders, there are plenty of options in the first round of the draft next year, and plenty of draft picks that Ryan Poles has probably stored up that would get them within sniffing distance of a change at quarterback if it were needed. And I don't think that even if you do need it, I don't think long term. Look, Baker Mayfield is a journeyman for a reason. He threw the interception at the end for a reason. Lincoln Riley system. Kyler Murray, who averaged 140 yards throwing when he came back from injury, multiple interceptions, didn't play very good down the stretch. Did have one good game, I think, in there, but generally speaking, again, 100, maybe 160 yards passing in the end of the season. That's Lincoln Riley right there. That's the 6'1" quarterback guy that everybody thinks is Caleb Williams is. Look, they thought the same thing about a lot of different people, and they're not right about them. So Shedeur Sanders represents an option. Malik also represents an option next year. Arch Manning's going to be out there at some point. So there are plenty of different options at quarterback if this doesn't work out. So the thing is, Justin Fields gives a team that's under the gun and under pressure the best opportunity to win. And the real pros, the smart people, not the dummies who sit in chat and cry about players, right? The smart people all want Justin Fields to come back. The players who play the game, the athletes that see it on the field, the people that have an understanding of the mechanics of the system, they all want to see Justin Fields return. It's just the donkeys who don't know anything about football that are like, hey, move on. We got to go get somebody else or whatever. Anyway, that's it for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Justin Fields is going to take the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl. By the way, bookmark this video. Make sure that you watch it. If you don't like it, by the way, if you hate Justin Fields, if everything about Justin Fields you just despise, you don't like it, and there's something about him, his headband, you don't like his headband, or you don't like that his hair is nice. If there's something about him, if it's being 6'2", just infuriates you, that he runs fast. That infuriates. Bookmark this video and watch it every day with hate in your heart, because guess what? At the end of next year, when you go back to this video and you watch it, then you remember I was talking to you. Talk to you again very, very soon, guys. You have a good day.
Whoa, another shot.